Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 103, and today we're going to be doing battle with Thresh Nasus. And so this is our first set of battles in the 310 patch. If you didn't catch our previous video on what I kind of expect coming out of the upcoming format, is I think Ari Bard is going to be the top deck. I think to combat Ari Bard, we're going to see a bunch of burn-based aggro decks, be that something like Pirates making a resurgence, or Annie Ezreal or Annie Jin. And then to kind of complete the cycle, I think we're going to see a bunch of Heimerdinger Jace. I think Heimerdinger Jace with the drains and the width capabilities between the Donger and things like Assembly Worker, it just functions quite well against the aggro decks of the day. And so the way I'm kind of looking to kind of fit in there with the changes to the new cards is with Thresh Nasus. And so if you're not familiar with the updates that just came out of the new patch, the big one to me is going to be with Blighted Caretaker. Blighted Caretaker caught his point of attack back, has 2 attack again. And the thing with Blighted Caretaker to me is it's fantastic against Ari, right? It can kill off all of their early game ephemerals, or their early game elusives. It can kill off Ari herself. It's quite good against all of the aggro decks, and it's just an all-around very strong unit. The other card that we're going to be taking big advantage of today is the Camaveran Dragon. This guy got upgraded from 3 health to 4, and so he often comes down as a 5/5 for 4 mana, and that's just bigger than everything in the format right now. He's becoming quite a combat monster, and he also has Fearsome. And so the kind of strategies we're looking to pull off with this one, we have kind of pushed ourselves to be more aggressive, right? In a lot of Thresh Nasus lists, you're going to see the full set of 3 Nasus, or the full set of 3 Thresh. We're only playing 2. You're going to see the full set of 3 Spirit Leeches. Instead of Merciless Hunter, you're going to find that 5/3 that costs 4 mana. You might find things like Black Spear. You might find things like Rite of Negation. I'm looking to push this well up more into the closer to aggro than mid-range territory, right? If you're taking your mid-range deck and saying, is this more aggro-y or is this more control-y? We're definitely pushing towards the aggro end of the spectrum. And so in that, we do have access to Bakai Reaper. The Merciless Hunter has Fearsome, in addition to giving out the vulnerable. Camaveran Dragon also has Fearsome as well. To kind of help complement with the Fearsomes, we are playing Quicksand over something, say, like Black Spear. So with the Quicksand, it has been nerfed. It's not updated in the picture. If you do the split Quicksand, it only gives -1 attack instead of -2. But that's oftentimes all that you need to either shut down an opponent's fearsome blocker, shut down your opponent's value block, whatever they're trying to do. On defense, it's good, and then on offense, it's good against things like Ari. Still good against all of the various aggro decks of the format. And so this is what we'll be doing battle with. I think it'll be fairly strong against Ari, fairly strong against aggro. It's going to be a weaker matchup against the likes of Heimerdinger Jace, but we can still come out the gates with these really high-powered aggro draws to where you do stuff like play a Bakai Reaper on turn 1, Cursed Keeper on 2, Ravenous Butcher on turn 2, just to be coming at your opponent for like 9 or 10 damage. I forget however much it adds up to. And then we always have the ultimate equalizer in Thresh plus Atrocity. And so if the games go long against Heimerdinger Jace, we can try to get a Nasus throw at their face. And so, with that being that, let's get ourselves into battle. I checked out our deck list to see if we have paid the pay-to-win price, and it is all there. The only places where we're a little bit short are going to be on the Wings and the Wave. That's an epic. We don't turn that premium, and so we're good to go. Off to the races. Let's get the dog into battle. Okay, right out the gates, playing against some Ari Bard. I'm telling you, this is what I suspect is going to be the premier deck, or the boogeyman of the format, immediately coming out the gates here. So with a hand like this, I'm always looking for our sacrificable cards. So I want to be starting with the likes of the Wings and the Wave. We want to start with Fading Icon. We want to be starting with Cursed Keeper. And then assuming that we have some kind of sacrifice outlet turn itself up, we'll start to looking to the activator cards, our Blighted Caretakers of the world, our not Spirit Leech, but the new guy, the dragon, Camaverin dragon. You can you can hang out if we have stuff to sacrifice to you, but we're ideally just trying to piece together these big curves of the 1, 2, and 3 drops. Okay, this should be a pretty decent turn next turn. We're going to drop the Blighted Caretaker. It's primed and ready to take down Esmuth, I assume. Our opponent's probably not going to play any units into this board, given that we just get the free hook into whatever they're playing, and then they should just be taking 7 damage off of this attack. It's happening. Boom him. Stop for a water break. I wonder if is he really going to play a Twin Disciplines here? I don't know about that. I don't know. Like a Twin Disciplines plus the Mourn, is that really where we're at these days? I didn't think so. Alright, what you got for us, duder? Thinking long and hard on it. Thinking doubly long, triply long. Maybe he dropped his phone in the toilet, who knows? I can imagine. He's taking his break at work. He's fired up. His sweet Ari Bard list. He says, LOL, watch this. I'm going to hit so many chimes today, especially on turn 1 and turn 2. And then you just take it all away from him. Has to feel bad, man. Has to feel bad. Well, I've got a quicksand. That's what we're looking to do with this turn. We have to do the full quicksand now, unfortunately, given that the rules have changed. Oh, he's just putting Ari down at the end. She can't strike out now. Maybe we just take the 2 out of this and save the quicksand. Alright, then these are the turns we're talking about where like quicksand can be good on offense. We could look to come in, shrink the Bard, and then we could get all of our fearsomes in for damage, but we don't have enough fearsomes right now to make that worthwhile. So we'll look away from that. But let's at least get some dudes on board and see what we can do. He did just hit 2 chimes this turn, which is a little unfortunate, but you know what they say. It is what it is. This is not looking like a particularly spectacular attack. I almost wish we could take it back and just put the vulnerable onto Bard. But we have to at least slam 2 damage into Ari. It's just after the Ari, these attacks don't look very good. It just feels like we're about to be running into a Twin Disciplines. Like, I feel like that was what they were thinking about on our previous attack. They chose not to do it, and then the Twin Disciplines will come in and protect Ari here. It's kind of my suspicion. Homecoming. Okay. Well, at least he gets his bird back, but we get a Blighted Caretaker ready for combat again. Then coming in the next turn, it's kind of tough. Like, I would like to get Nasus on board, but he's kind of small, and we can't play anything this turn if we want to have Nasus plus Quicksand next turn. Alright, we'll try to do some blocking and stuff. Maybe it would have just been better. It's like my ultimate worry in terms of dropping a Nasus was that he's going to come down and then he's going to play a Homecoming. I guess he's like a relatively safe play here now. We're giving up on the Quicksand, but Quicksanding like the Mourned and the Esmuth feels kind of weak on this turn. And then we definitely need some stuff to die, right? I want both of these first waves off the board this turn. I want the Fading Icon off of the board. I want to get the full collection of units for our Blighted Caretaker next turn.
The cycle halts for no one.
Is she gonna flip? Are we just gonna die to this Ahri now? He gets the full Ahri attacks in across the board. Is that how that's going to happen? You can block a couple. She's not bringing like the gigantic elusive damage here.
Life is everything.
That's the only one we got. The only block we can do. A little unfortunate. At least his hand does... everything he has goes back to his hand and he doesn't have any mana. So we can come in for 10? That doesn't feel like enough.
So, you have chosen your path. Promise it won't cross with yours.
So are we in the camp of we have to play Blighted Caretaker this turn? I mean, I think we do. It's such a poor way to go at it, but I think we have to both drop the Caretaker. We can like try to interact with Ahri if we want. Like we can actually hook Ahri with Nasus. Maybe that's the angle. Right, we're doing this 100% of the time. Could, I guess, just hook Ahri with a Fading Icon, and then that wouldn't be as bad. So we give it one of these. Downside to this is if he has a Twin Disciplines, he can protect his Ahri, but we can look to make a Quicksand play onto her next turn.
There is no undoing what has been done.
All right. Interesting. So we just kill his whole board? Not what I was expecting. That was not how I thought that turn was going to go. All right, so, I mean, we'll have a couple angles on this next turn. Our Nasus is lethal. This deck does play Deny, so there is a reasonable chance that our Atrocity gets counterspelled. But we at least hopefully have two ways out of this turn in both the Quicksand and the Atrocity. What is that, 10 mana? We have 11. Let's drop the Wings in the Wave. That'll let us get an additional blocker that isn't Nasus. Also, potentially, we'll have to see how these attacks go, but it potentially lets Nasus flip, get a -1 attack, and prevent a point of damage from coming at us. It's like, I doubt that that's going to be relevant, but it's there. Drops to 4. He's potentially got that Deny mana. Let's play something irrelevant so we can go for it, please. That's the way you're supposed to do it, right? Okay, so that's only 1 damage onto us. We'll try and flip this Nasus or get him to bait out his spell or something. If the Nasus flip is here, then we win. Okay, cool. Minus attack. ultra relevant here.
Shadow.
GG. Market a W for FTP bust. Game blouses. Then he offered us some pancakes. Do people remember that stuff anymore? Is that Chappelle too old? Has Chappelle been canceled these days? I don't remember how that fully went with Chappelle getting canceled and everything, but there's no denying that Chappelle stuff still holds up. I don't know. I was in like early college. It was before those like really hard hitting seasons of Chappelle Show came out. Before like memes were really a thing. Those probably may have been before Facebook even was like really widespread in college. I remember Marshall was in one of kind of the first waves of the acceptance into Facebook, but there still weren't like memes back then. But having to hear like friend after friend say, "What did the five hands say to the face?" and say stuff about grinding their feet into your couch and stuff. Oh man, that got old. Say I'm Rick James, bitch. But all right, you all know how we're going to do it. I'm still going to get rid of the Butcher. I want to find these sacrifice outlets before I hang on to cards like the Butcher. Now we've got this really high-powered Reaper draw. He is playing Ezreal, so we're going to have to worry about some degree of Mystic shots. But if he's not having the early removals, we can really power in the damage. And then if you're not familiar with the Ezreal updates, he now takes 8 targets to flip, but those targets can come from copied cards. I'll trade here. Whatever he's going to offer up. If we could trade a Fading Icon, I'm fine with that. It's just like they just have so many removals and so many AoEs. I don't want to just be sitting around with a bunch of 1 health units on the board. That's as good as a trade as that unit's going to get this game anyways. All right, well, here's like the big high-powered stuff I was talking about this deck being able to do. We're going to get the second Reaper, we're going to get the Cursed Keeper, we're going to get the Butcher on the Keeper. Big-time damages coming in. It's an appropriate emote. Get him, Laser Kitty. You get him. Okay. So we're going to lose 1 Reaper here. I think that's fine. The rest of our attacks are too good. It does open up one of our units getting popped by a Ravenous Flock, but... Interesting. He doesn't go after our Bakai Reaper. Making a strange face. I don't quite understand what's happening there. Alright, well, I'm just going to get dudes on board. We have this Merciless Hunter we can look to play next turn. If he doesn't add dudes, I mean, are we just going to open? Assuming he has, like, I don't know, a Get Excited for our Bakai Reaper. And then we just still get to chunk in a ton of damage. This is kind of like the downside to not playing the full package of, like, Spirit Leeches and Glimpse Beyonds. We need to kind of refill and clear out this board a little bit, or when he Mystic Shots our Bakai Reaper, we would like to have a Glimpse Beyond to just kind of go ahead and replace something that's going to die anyways. A little bit lacking in those terms, but Double Blade's Edge. Okay. Get in for 5 damage. Getting close to lethals when we have the Atrocity in hand. We can make one of these combats with the Merciless Hunter to where we just Merciless Hunt whatever blocker he has and then hook the blocker with the prey. Looks like it's not going to be relevant now that we drew the Blighted Caretaker, but it's an option, right?
Let me get you that fire. Arda's gonna make a meal of 'em.
All right, Varg. Let's make a meal of them. Okay, this is good. We'll block with the prey. That's going to let us get the additional units on board next turn.
Another clue.
We're pretty high in health. I don't feel like You need to interact with the station archivist. Right? I mean, that's really the only hook we need in terms of getting our fearsomes into combat. I got that emote too, bro. I got it. Are we using them all? Okay. I'll bring Ari. I got this guy. He can try, dude, but his emote game is nowhere on point as ours. We have like expertly curated this collection of 6 emotes, and there's just no way that he could come anywhere near our emote capacity, our emote strength. All right, do we ever just go for an overwrite on this thing? Where are we at? He's got 4 mana. I'd like to just slam in a ton of damage this turn. I think so. This is going to let us hit for 5. Is that too greedy? We have the 2 hooks onto these. It's like I don't think we're going to need the Reaper at this point. Oh, don't... Oh, okay, I guess that works. I thought I was going to be able to kill the Cursed Keeper. But... that's okay. I thought that I didn't read the text. I thought we were going to be overriding that unit, and then... hang on. There we go. I thought we were going to be overriding our dude and then hitting the Cursed Keeper with the sacrifice ability, but it's not how he works. Alright, so now if opponent taps out, we're good to kill him with Atrocity. Not quite well enough. You want to play this other card? No? Fine, dude. Be like that. Doubling up on the old Atrocities. He has Ezreal and then the card he drew for the turn. Can't play Tybalak now. Okay.
It's not bragging if you can back it up.
Send it. A little scary. I mean, maybe we should have like waited on him to get the Mystic Shot and then cast that with the Mystic Shot on the stack. That's probably the way to do it. Just play it a little slow and then wait on the Mystic Shot and then sacrifice off whatever he targets. We would have been in a pretty scary spot had he gotten into like playing a burn spell on our Atrocity target, Mystic Shotting something else, and then going into the next turn. We probably should have just waited a little bit. But the thing that I was kind of like thinking in my mind but not saying is I want to be in kind of a space to where we can play an Atrocity on both turns. So we needed to play one this turn and one on the next turn, and that was like where I was like, okay, well we gotta play one now. Okay, darkness coming at us. A little bit of freshness to your day. So with this, I don't really want Blighted Caretakers in this matchup. They kill some stuff, but not the important ones. But the important ones are kind of slow. We probably can't pass up on it. I think if we were on like the even attacks, then we would probably get rid of it. But since we're on the odd attacks, we can go ahead and hang on to it. It's like it's such a pretty hardcore mulligan if we start getting rid of some of this stuff. See, now this is awkward. I don't want him getting like the really high-powered darknesses when we're getting close to dropping Camaveran dragons. But like the Blighted Caretaker just doesn't do anything this turn. I guess we can churn out like Glimpse Beyonds if we want, but that doesn't sound super ideal. We're not getting any slay value out of them. Alright, Well, let's showcase the dragons. The dragons are showing up in full force. All right, let's show them off. Let's show them what you can do.
Come, it's showtime.
Can't say I'm amped about generating a 4/2 into this conchologist, but I guess things got a little better now that the quicksand showed up. It's worth it. Dragons coming down. You gotta drop the emote. Gotta drop it. I did the mathematics on if it had to be dropped. It does. It does. So is the quicksand's not enough to get out of this middle one? So do we just let this happen? I don't really want to lose the dragon. We do have another one in hand, but I think I'd almost rather save the quicksand for Senna. So we block. He's going to drop a darkness. I'm going to say LOL. Oh, he's not dropping darkness. I'm still going to say it. LOL. Quicksand. Had to double check and make sure the darkness wasn't going to be lethal. I might have LOL'd a little too fast on that one. What? All right. Are we able to lethal through this next turn anyways? We have access to a lot of damage here. Can't quite get the Blighted Caretaker. Well, we can do this, right? We can say Blighted Caretaker here. That's going to generate some stuff. And then we can kill some of the generated stuff with the Camaveran Dragon. Okay. Not looking to kill Senna. I'm looking to just send damage to face now. Feels like a lot more units have died than 3. Feels like it. Is that where we want to bring the hook? Like, he's gonna put the Spiderling in front of Blighted Caretaker, but then where does the Robemaker go? Like, I think this is probably how we have to do it. I guess he probably doesn't, though, right? He probably puts the Spiderling in front of Dragon to keep Thresh from flipping. Should we have played the Ravenous Butcher? Okay. So we'll lose our Thresh almost immediately to the darkness, but we got him pretty close to the Deadlands, the dead zone, if you will.
Ready to fire. Keep your distance.
See if that gets a second darkness out of here. It's going to flip the Senna. Okay. A little scary. Like, we've probably lost at this point. We need to either pick up like an Atrocity or a Nasus, and even Atrocity doesn't feel that safe. I think we're just going to be a little bit short here. The critical turn was the previous attack we had. I was wondering if we shouldn't have. There's an Atrocity, I guess. I was wondering if we shouldn't have hooked the Stilt Maker with, or either like hooked the Stilt Maker or hooked the Spiderling with Thresh, and then that kind of forces him into either putting the Robe Maker or the Senna into combat. But, he went too ham. Went too ham. Give that a ham sandwich, am I right? LOL. We deserved it. We deserved it. I was thinking earlier, I can't remember if I called something Big Tom or not, but I've been on this this Paul Rudd kick here recently. I've recently watched I Love You Man, fantastic movie. Still holds up the through the times of comedy. And then I watched Role Models last night. That one has some moments to where some of the jokes fall flat because they don't really hold up anymore, but still a pretty quality movie. Especially when it's concerning these kind of degenerate dudes being mentors to children. But there's a thing in I Love You Man to where Paul Rudd keeps trying to do accents, and they always just come out like he sounds Jamaican. And so he's got his Jamaican accent going on, just saying Big Tom over and over again. It's good stuff. It's such a good movie. But that's like what goes at the back of my head whenever I say something like big time, and then I immediately start thinking don't say it in a Jamaican accent. Just don't do it. All right. Well, this one's happening. Are we just going to go ahead and trade away with the Boom Baboon? We aren't a real removal heavy deck, but we can probably give it a round, right? We have the Merciless Hunters, we have the Blighted Caretakers. We can get a few draws of time before we have to just completely give up on the Reaper attacking through either of these units. All right, I want to get something down here. I was looking to get the Cursed Keeper plus the Wings in the wave, but that felt like a little slow. He had the opportunity to chunk in some big damage there. Oh, god damn it, I did it again. Fuck, I'm so bad at this. I intended to make the 3-attack thing and to kill the Cursed Keeper. I can't remember if I did it in our games here, I did it in a practice game, but I am horrifically bad at clicking on the wrong version. F. Alright, we'll recover. I believe in us. We could have looked to Vile Feast down that Boom Baboon, but it's not a big, high-valued trade. And I think we're probably better off just trying to save this for Zoe or something. Now we've got all these Blighted Caretakers in hand, but no space on board. Maybe opponent will make an attack here.
As darkness falls, the moon rises.
Okay, makes sense. Who's that big dragon everybody's been looking for? Got to clear some of this stuff out. This one does work this way, I believe. We play him, see, select a unit or landmark to replace. Let's get rid of a prey. Deal 3 to something. I'm going to kill the other little 0/1. Gotta watch yourself with how those cards work. It's very weird having this thing also in your deck with Ravenous Butchers. If he's down to 3 mana, let's just go ahead and pick off this little dum-dum. I don't think we're going to get too much done this turn, but we're definitely attacking here. Ooh, Pale Cascade. Ooh. Okay, send him in. He's going to trade out his 2/3/1s for our bigger units. Not sure what he'll do in terms of the dragon. Wouldn't be surprised to see him just block it with something like Sump Dredger and then look to kill it with a Felios in a turn or two. But, ooh, wow. That's good. Like we're in a pretty bad spot. And so I'm not sure why he's not just out here trading stuff away. That's weird. Like he's just saying like, okay, kill me with atrocity, please.
Her flowers bring the moonlight with them.
That makes sense. That one makes sense. Don't think we have enough to get through this, but we'll give it a shot. Okay. GG. We are supposed to be the ones doing fun and interactive stuff with the Winding Light. GG, my dude. All right, next battle. Over 10 seconds. What is this shit? Yeah, I got so used to it. It's like you queue in an expedition and have to wait 1:15 for a match to show up. Take forever. You get to hear me talk about dumb stuff. Not used to these 30-second queues. I gotta do some research and fill in some gaps in the airtime. All right, reasonable enough start. I almost immediately clicked off this Glimpse Beyond, but I'm curious if we want it with this double Cursed Keeper draw, right? Like, we're not going to be playing anything on turn 1. Turn 2, we play a Cursed Keeper. Turn 3, we play a Wings in the Wave and a Cursed Keeper. Maybe we have to hang on to it. So I'd rather just have, like, any 1-drop. But, okay. So... We're about to get domed. I don't like this anymore. Like I was just thinking of this hand in like terms of generalities, and now that we're up against Annie Zig's Katarina, the burn deck, I didn't really stop and think about the implications of what happens when they have these big aggro draws on us. But I think this is actually okay. Let's just go ahead and prevent the damage with the prey. This is going to be a game to where we need to just really be the control deck, and then we need to like not worry about that prey. We have 2 dudes that we can just sacrifice off at this point. We don't have any other sacrifice cards besides this Glimpse Beyond, so leaving that 0 cost unit around for a while doesn't feel like it's going to do that much, and there's not even like a great opportunity for it to hit for extra damage. Or prevent extra damage. 3 is probably as good as it's going to be. Then on this board, I didn't want to attack with our Escaped Abomination. He's just going to trade it with the Imperial Demolitionist. I wanted to play it just a little bit slow so that we could potentially get a 2-for-1 out of Quicksand this turn. So he's going to get to come back at us with this Blade's Edge and then kill one of our units, but, you know, make him do it, right? Make him spend the mana to get these kills and stuff. This would have been a fantastic turn if Quicksand hadn't been nerfed from the -2, and then he's just sitting on this dead Blade's Edge, but this is fine. This is all okay.
It's just an egg.
Katarina gets the flip, and then we get to start coming in with the dragon next turn, which, you know, the drain isn't irrelevant, right? We get to perhaps get like 2 or 3 points of drain damage, and against the burn deck, every little bit matters. Said, "Oh shit, Bust, that is a giant ass dragon." Whatever. He's gonna Blade's Edge our Escaped Abomination. I was thinking if we want to, is he gonna come to the right on the dragon and give up the Katarina? Wow. Okay. I was thinking if we actually wanted to just go ahead and sacrifice the Escaped Abomination to the Wings in the Wave to take the 1 health unit off the board when he has Blade's Edge, but that doesn't seem that great. We'll just let it go. I assumed that he was gonna come and try and save his unit a little bit. Ooh. Ooh. Nice. Okay. He's really slowed down now.
Chase what you want without mercy.
We're gonna get nugged this turn, that's for certain.
Make some friends, Tibbers. Trample of Loveland. Burn me.
Look upon me.
Okay, so if it's dead or gone, we don't get the card, so there's no reason to block Anglimpse Beyond. We'll just sacrifice one of these other dudes off. Find ourselves something here. Okay. Can't sacrifice off our token when we got the Blighted Caretaker in hand. Ooh, with the Spirit Leech, we have to just like continue this chain of drawing cards. We can at least like Spirit Leech away a sapling if we need to. Let's see where that gets us. Non-zero chance he's just gonna have like a removal spell for the sapling, but I feel pretty good that we just caught back up on board. Right, he's got 2 cards in hand. We're pretty healthy. We have a lot more cards than them, and then we still have another card draw in hand.
Or you're dead.
Fucking A. Ruin Runner is like the only real problem card we can be running into. Like, Ziggs is a minor annoyance, but this Ruin Runner is the actual problem. I don't really want to fall to 4. That's where you die to Decimate. I guess we just have to accept it. We can Vile Feast our own unit and try and get around it that way. I guess the drain from the dragon also gives us a additional point of safety net. So I think now I'm actually looking to say, let's Vile Feast our Camaverin dragon. That's going to give us a drain. And then it's also going to give us the unit next turn that we can use to hook this Blighted Caretaker. At least the Annie Katarina Ziggs decks that I played, I didn't bother with this. I played Noxus Blast, Decimates, and I didn't have to worry about having cards like Scorched Earth. There are no Ravenous Flocks. There's no ways for him to just deal damage to this Camaverin dragon because it's damaged. Cool, we did it. Is that? Did I mark that right? Are we 4-1 or 5-1? I have to go back and check. All right, I think we're 4-1. I don't know. Feels like you all got a freebie in there that I didn't mark. We probably won it. So I can't imagine us ever losing a game for any reason, and so I just assume that we won it. All right, and so back to this kind of odd space to where we have the Blighted Caretaker for turn 4, but we also want to play the Dragon on turn 4. I don't think the Blighted Caretaker is going to be spectacular in this matchups on the even attacks. There are like dudes that we can connect with on the Caretaker, but I think I want to look for our other early game plays. I don't think it's going to be a spectacular one here. And then we also have to worry about dumb shit like the cat that generates the crystal. Fucking hate Hexite crystals. I assume if he leads out with the predict, he just doesn't have the cat, but still something to worry about. Okay, Our attacks here are free.
In this timeline, we're sure to save Acacia.
Curious if he'll bring the block. This is one of the things we did a lot in Expedition, and it's kind of up in the air as to whether or not you should be doing it here, as to where you throw the block on Cursed Keeper. So if we want to play one of our Slay cards, then it's already accounted for. But looks like he's not interested in that just yet. Love the Fallen Feline. Dumb shit card. Alright, he hits a drop border. Hits 2 drop borders. Okay. Fun times for everyone. Alright. We're ready to attack now. He drops an Echo. We should be safe with all of our units. It's just a matter of do we want to sacrifice off this Spiderling so that we get an additional attacker? Like, he can block it with the Chronomancer, but I think it's okay. Like, I want to save this Glimpse Beyond for an Echo attack. So when Echo comes at us with a quick attack, we can block him. We can put the Glimpse Beyond out in front, and then take away his strike ability. So he can, like, block now, get a strike, get the fleeting time trick that he can't play, but don't think he'll really want to do it. Then next turn, we can try and shut this down. Okay, Flipped Echo. Is that the new skin? I think that's the new skin. What is this? Bandit Echo? Looks like he's coming out of the Dead Mines. He's been out there hanging out with Edwin Van Cleef. Wrong game, wrong universe, but that's what he looks like to me. Alright, bit of an awkward turn here. We don't have much stuff to do. Do we have to just, like, pass? Probably. See if he does anything. Alright, well, we at least get to get the dog on board now. These Fearsomes are looking pretty strong against what they can offer up. Not a ton of units out of Echo Zillion that can actually block our Fearsomes. I'm trying to think if there's anything besides Echo that would realistically be coming in against these. Station Archivist, there's one thing.
Let me get you that fire.
Okay. No crystals. Excellent.
What's the motive?
Can't do anything about a Mystic Shot. I'm fine to just kind of let this happen. I want to, again, save this Glimpse Beyond for if he's going to make a big time trick turn. You're pretty close to lethal there, dog. Pretty close.
Back in the game.
Nope. Oh god, I'm so bad at clicking the right one. I'm glad there's at least like a pause on the kill a thing, but man, for the front side of this, I gotta be like, please, give me a confirmation message. Alright. The dog is in range. When he doesn't attack with Echo, interesting.
Well, you had a future.
Okay, I mean, I'd like to get if this block happens, I would like to get the Spell Shield onto Nasus before we try and throw an Atrocity at him. Again, he can have the likes of Rite of Negations. feels like with him just coming down and throwing echoes in front of our units that he's probably got Chrono Break or Time Trick, whatever the recover my dudes and make an attack thing is. But we'll see if we can't get him to spend down some mana before that comes to happen.
Things aren't gonna improve themselves.
Just going to go ahead and get the spider on board. If we get to block the spider with, or block Echo with the spider and then Glimpse Beyond, again, keep them off of the free time tricks, and then play around Rite of Negation a little bit.
Lest they be forgotten.
What is darkness to the unseen?
It's not even lethal. I guess, like, if he plays the dumb card, he gets the rally off of it anyways, but... Interesting. He just hit a crystal.
When we look ahead, we know how to prepare.
I think we're fine. He can crystal, he's going to kill some stuff, but as soon as he drops below 4 mana, we're just going to kill him.
Cycle is done.
I do my own stunts.
I do my own stunts.
Spirit is hollow.
Who is the next one? This guy down here. Probably need to kill the Voice of the Risen. Okay. I was kind of expecting him to Chrono Break. It's a little dangerous. I mean, passing up on all these turns kinda sucks, but... we'll see what happens. The longer we put this off, the scarier it gets. He has to just be sitting on that Rite of Negation. Has to be. So what else are we gonna do? I think we just gotta go for it. I guess we don't die to an open, but ugh, this is gross. It's like, now that we're at this space, we could have just gone for it like 8 turns ago. It's not nearly as ideal. All right, let's see if they got it. Well, is there a way for them to draw cards out of this? I'm not sure why they'd be trying to draw cards. But, alright, we did it. GG. You know what we did there? We just marked it a W for bust. Bringing in the dog, the dragon dog, if you will. I feel like in every deck list we have to put the word dragon into the name. I guess that's just the way a lot of these decks work, though. You put the Papercraft Dragon into the deck, it becomes a dragon deck. You put the Winding Light into a deck, it becomes a not a dragon deck. You put Aurelion Soul in there, it's of course a dragon deck. Yeah, I never really got into the big like fantasy love of dragons, but I get it, you know. I see where you're coming from, but people out there sure do enjoy them, and so it's nice to bring the people what they want. But here we're up against Annie Misfortune. This is going to be another particularly aggressive deck, I assume, based on 1-drops and the Buru Sentinel kind of thing. The Buru Sentinel is the one that makes a 1-drop make a free attack, and so I'm fine with this opener of turn 2 Vile Feast into Blighted Caretaker. Right, we're on the odd attacks, so we can pull off something on turn 3, and then just cycling and looking for some other cheap interactivity.
I never
we'll take down the Saboteur this way if he wants to attack and get the point of Crackshot Corsair damage in. He's going to have to attack into our Spiderling. I don't think he'll bring it. Guess you got to. Now, how do we feel about this turn? It's like if we play the Blighted Caretaker, he's probably just not going to do anything. And so I'm kind of leaning towards just going big with units this turn, playing the Cursed Keeper, playing the Wings and the Wave, and then into next turn we'll look and see if we're able to either just be like really defensive with Blighted Caretaker, but more realistically, just make a quicksand play. Him trading out the Grenadier is great for us.
Sure about that?
Okay. Ooh, this big boy dragon. This guy's he's been impressive. Okay. I was expecting this thing to just be a dud, but man, I have been non-stop impressed with this thing all the time. Give me that drain. Now we're ready to come in with the Blighted Caretaker. Do we get to play the Fading Icon? This puts 5 units on board. Then we'll drop to 4. We lose out on 1. Okay, we have to just play the Caretaker first. We could follow up with the Fading Icon if we want, but
War Mason, reporting for duty.
I mean, well, probably have to take down the 2 powers. I'm not like super interested in protecting the Escaped Abomination. Like, I feel like if we go into next turn, we're probably just going to win the game anyways. Or if we make it back to our next attack token. And so it is kind of worthwhile to take the Crackshot Corsair out of the board, and then he just puts the Tentacle in front of our 4-2. But I think our board is going to be good enough to where we don't have to worry about stuff like that. Okay. Love seeing Noxus Blast go to our units, right? That means his deck is not doing what his deck wants to do. Good, looking strong. You want to attack into our Drain Dragon? Drain the snake, if you will. That's all a dragon is, right? A snake with wings. You gotta drain the snake here. The drain dragon. That's the high quality content people come here for. Okay, we should be in a pretty game ending spot right about now. Ooh, Mirai Warden. Okay. Yeah, you can have Bird. But I don't want to come out here and try and make a Vile Feast play. He's just going to add more units to the board. So let's just come down and get all these kills that we can, and we should still be in a pretty good spot for the future turns. Not a bad combo, just rando hitting Bird and then drawing the Chime off of your Eye of Nakaboros. That's the way to do it. Let's just counter that one. Get the drain and counter all of the damage coming out of it. We're getting to a space here to where we're going to have like a Nasus hook next turn, or a Nasus attack. And we do have this quicksand to stop any of his potential aggression here. I don't think we're in a real worry about what's happening. A dead card? Aw.
Looking for trouble?
It found
Okay.
you.
What you bringing at us, Misfortune?
Time for violence.
Interesting. Bring in the attacks. I'll block. I got a quicksand. Why would he ever attack with a Misfortune? Like, I guess you are in this spot where you have to have something good to go right to win. And so maybe that does involve just going ahead and attacking and hoping you get to kill off the dragon or something, but feels kind of bold. I guess if that's where you're at, that's where you're at. Make it rain. Okay. I was like, there's no way this deck plays something like Disintegrate. I guess you could. I guess I could see the Disintegrates working with Misfortune, but I don't see that being a thing. All right,
I'm one of the good guys.
let's get the dog. Laser beams. What up, Nasus? What are you hitting for? 17? Not bad. Not a bad day for the dog. Oh, GG, my dude. GG.
We grow wiser with each victory.
Okay, well, let's get ourselves into this final battle. You all know how we like to do it, playing the 8 games out here. An update. All right, maybe we'll get a mobile opponent now. But man, I do have to say at least one thing with this patch. I'm usually just anticipating the worst out of the Reddit community. The last few patches, people have just made it kind of an incessant bitch fest, and it was pretty tame this time. So props to those of you that interact with Reddit and don't go out there and just be dicks all day. There was a lot of meme related positivity around the weekly chess skip button. There was a lot of positivity around the Path of Champions. There was a lot of non-negativity, if you will, around the remainder of the update. And so I was very proud of everyone out there, and not just being complete dicks. Good job, guys. But here, we'll see how these go. I feel like we got pretty lucky in that last go around with the Echo Zillion. We're out here playing a deck where we're trying to go wide and leave 0/1s on the board for a few turns, and then if you look at our hand, you see 1 health, 2 health, 1 health, flips into 2 health, 2 health Nasus, 2 health Butcher, and so when an opponent is like, LOL, it's a Hexkite Crystal, they just end the game. They have the very easy LOL, I'll win the game button, and there's just not a lot we can do about it. We just have to basically play like they don't have it, and so that last guy had one fairly early, but wasn't able to really take advantage of it because he never drew it in time. So here, I was a little worried about a Zillion coming down. We still get pretty good attacks, though, even with Zillion on board. I am going to play the Ravenous Butcher onto the Prey and attack with everyone. He's going to get the free block onto Fading Icon, but it is also important to kind of chunk his health down because he's gonna get double blocks in regardless of how these games go. Not bad. But chunking in for 6, pretty decent. Need a little something to do now, though. Nasus is quite a far ways away. Merciless Hunter's not looking too scary. Echo's a pain in the butt. But let's see what we can do. We can still make a block this turn and Glimpse Beyond away. I don't think we want him just picking up the free time tricks. Well, he's going to flip anyways. Okay. Chrono Break loaded up.
Got a good feeling about tomorrow.
See if we can't find some interactivity. It doesn't feel great just attacking into this board next turn. Blighted Caretaker's good. Vile Feast is okay. All right. Let's get it all going, am I right? So here's the attacks. Like if he's played one -2 attack at this point, so it makes me feel like a little better about slamming into Echo, but we really don't have a choice in the matter. We've just got to go ahead and do it. We'll hook in everything else. Get our licks in for 10 damage. What was that? Oh, careful prep. Okay. But this seems reasonable. Excellent. Echo down. Now, the kind of awkward thing with this board now is if he picked up a Chrono Break, this is going to be abysmal. Right? If he gets the resummon your dude's rally thing. That is the Chrono Break, right? That's what that actually does, is resummon your dead allies. Or is it... Oh, it makes... That's the one that makes fleeting copies of your alive allies, right? No, revive all allies. Okay, didn't have it. So we got a shot. If he brought everyone back, we would be pretty hurting. Then what I was kind of looking for with this turn is like we can block with the Blighted Caretaker and then Vile Feast it away if we need to shut down an Echo attack, but he just doesn't have that here. Can we just open? Like, he's already played the one Scrying Sands. What do we... Oh, we draw Atrocity. Okay. Never mind. I'm just going to get the squad in, then. If we're just going to draw Atrocity, then yeah, fuck it. Slam it.
Real good to see you. Heed our words.
So much like that last Echo Zillion game, I would like to see them fall below 4 mana before we go for the Atrocity. It's not like as critical or scary in this game because we feel much further ahead. But I think we're also going to find the space to do it since we are so far ahead. He's just going to have to play a bunch of stuff on the board to try and get out of this. And so he's going to have to try and play some minus attack stuff down here and then play some follow-up cards so he has stuff to do next turn. Like, I think we're going to easily find the opportunities to drop Atrocity, to whereas in the previous time, we were kind of like hoping on our opponent to misplay. Now I think they're just in that something has to go right mode. Seems like they might be in drop the phone in the toilet mode as well, but I think we're good. I think we're okay. Oh, he's still here. He's dropping stuff. Dropping Deuces, dropping Absolvers, down to 4 mana. Okay. Didn't do anything. Okay. Let's throw it down. Cupcake. Got him. GG. And so, yeah, not a bad set of games. Not a bad set of games. And so I think with, you know, a deck that I'm not classically trained in, when Thresh Nasus was still back in its prime, we were balls deep in Expedition. And so we didn't really play through the Thresh Nasus era. We didn't play through the Azira Irelia era. A lot of those classic kind of Shuriman decks, we were just busy playing Expedition. And so this one is fairly new and fairly fresh to me. I know that maybe a month and a half or so ago, we were playing around quite a bit with Mono Viego, and we're playing around with Viego Nasus and such. And so those things are kind of familiar, but it does feel pretty good as we are kind of approaching on Masters, and we're just kind of crushing along with this deck. I feel like we've got ourselves in a pretty good spot with this. I think the Camaveran Dragon was a superstar. And I really like a lot of the things happening here. It feels like, to me, the kind of weak link here that I wasn't completely sure on was the Quicksand. I'm not sure if there's a better replacement for it. It's just so tough to get around because it's so versatile, and it does play like double duty in our themes with having all of these fearsomes and stuff, but that felt like something that may have been kind of weak. And then I'm still like uncertain if we want this full set of like 3 Glimpse Beyonds, 2 Spirit Leeches. It is nice to have that card draw on occasion, but I've never been like the hugest fan of playing that full set of 3 and 3. And I found myself in kind of some spaces here as to where I didn't really want all of these Spirit Leeches. And so there may be something to kind of swap out there as well. But otherwise, I was pretty happy with this across the board. We're only playing 2 Threshes. We didn't run into too many spots to where we were upset about not having it, but it is nice to have that additional kind of piece of top end. And again, I think everything here is pretty well positioned for the upcoming meta. The decks I was expecting to kind of churn out and really show up here, we did just see a lot of. I wasn't expecting Echo Zillion, I'll give you that, but we've got to play against Ari Bard. We got to play against a lot of flavors of burn-based aggro. And we handled it all pretty nicely, and I do think that that's what we're about to see a lot of, at least in the upcoming week, until the meta kind of sorts itself out a little bit. And so Thresh Nasus definitely has some real power to help you with your ladder climb, and it's pretty fun. There's nothing wrong with just throwing a 17 attack dude at your opponent's face, and so nothing wrong with that. But that is going to do it for us today. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. You learned how to drain the snake a little bit better. You maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.